coverage from the nooks and crannies of Nigeria and beyond. Journey with us through the news we tracked for you at this moment on your shining supreme station.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport, tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It's exactly 1 minute, gone past 9 a.m. Good morning and thank you for joining us on today's edition of the News Punch, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilori. This is where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. My name is Bisola, Oduwole, Suleiman, and here are the stories making the waves across the world. In Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu has said the federal government is receiving support and commendations from the international community over the removal of fuel subsidy and the foreign exchange regime policies, adding that they are yielding positive results. Tinubu stated this at a gala award night organized by the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation to recognize and honor outstanding civil servants to mark the 2023 Civil Service Week. Represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, Tinubu appreciated civil servants for their numerous contributions to the economic development of the country. The president, who accepted that the policies have affected the masses, said the government is working on measures to cushion the effects. Still in Nigeria, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has said that it seized at least 156,575 tramadol pills and other illicit drugs in 5 states and the FCT in the last 2 weeks. In a statement issued by the NDLEA spokesman, Mr. Femi Babafemi, he listed the states as Enugu, Anambra, Ondo, Lagos, and Ogun. According to his report, 2 suspected drug peddlers were arrested on the Gwagwalada-Abaji Highway in the FCT on Saturday, July 29. And moving on from the shores of Nigeria to the foreign scene, Niger's military leaders have warned against any armed intervention in the country as the West African heads of state gather in Abuja for an emergency summit to decide on further actions to pressure the army to restore constitutional order. Heads of state of the 15-member Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the 8-member West African Economic and Monetary Union could suspend Niger from their institutions, cut off the country from the regional central bank and financial market, and close borders. General Abdurrahman Tiani, the chief of Niger's presidential guard, has declared himself leader, while the country's elected president, Mohamed Bazoum, has been held by the military since the coup took place last week. And in the world of sport, AS Monaco defender Axel Disasi is set to join Chelsea this summer transfer window. According to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea are close to reaching an agreement with Monaco for Disasi's signature. Romano made this known in a tweet via his official Twitter handle on Sunday. 25-year-old Disasi joined Monaco from French Ligue 1 side Reims in 2020. And that's all we have for you on this morning's edition of the News Punch. Coming up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we analyze the major talking points in the news. To stay with us, we'll be right back.
From news to sports, current affairs to entertainment, beautiful music, amazing programs, we got you all covered at Diamond 88.7 FM.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, so help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the sport spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can you hurt Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
A very good morning to you once again. You're tuned in and listening to Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, the shining supreme station. It's Monday. This is the last day in the month of July 2023. It's a brand new day. It's a bright new morning. And on the Diamond Breakfast Show, we'll be taking a look at a couple of stories making the rounds. The program is in two segments today. We have the first segment where we take a look at the analysis of some of the major talking points in the news. And the second segment of the program, we'll be having other guests join us on the program. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman, and I am your host on the Diamond Breakfast Show this morning. I'm not alone in the studio. I have with me Mr. Bashir Oladipo. He is a public affairs analyst. He is a lawyer as well, and he's also a social commentator. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
It's
Thank
good
you.
to have you on the program.
Good morning, the listeners.
All right.
It's a pleasure being with
First,
you.
how was your weekend?
Well, we thank God it's fine.
Okay, it's good to see you this morning. All right, let's get into the talking points in the news. And this first one is about the president. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed a special investigator, Jim Osayode, to probe the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and related activities. This was contained in a letter signed by the president and addressed to Obaze, the chief executive officer of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, FRCN. Now, there's been lots of conversations surrounding the activities of the CBN under its former governor, that is Godwin Emefiele, that is the suspended governor. What do you make of this investigation that is coming up at this point in time?
Well, I think it's long overdue. In fact, it should have been done even before Emefiele is arraigned, because all this thing will let us know actually what happened within the CBN. For, I don't know, you see, sometimes we find ourselves in a situation that you start wondering, how did we get into this? The CBN has a mandate, but you see that in the last few years, the CBN had moved away from their mandate, starting from the time of Sanusi, the former emir of Kano. Then you see the CBN now going into and saying they are funding a project and all these kind of things. You understand? The CBN is supposed to be the bank to the nation, and also supposed to be the financial advisor, part of the financial advisor to the nation.
All right.
But when you now see the CBN getting involved in so many activities that are not part of their core activities, there's no way there won't be corruption and there won't be a lot of partition. For example, you see CBN saying that they are funding a project in one community. You understand? They are funding a project in maybe one organization, giving those people money, trying to say, okay, we'll do this thing.
But is that a bad thing, lending support?
No. You see, when you want to do that, that's why you have the other banks, the financial, the commercial banks.
Okay.
The CBN can advise the state, the federal government, and say, let's create this kind of bank to handle this. It's not for them to handle it. You understand? They are not supposed to be involved in retail banking. So all those things now coming down to the worst part of it, where the CBN gave the whole nation a timetable. And instead of following the timetable, the CBN refused to follow the timetable and plunged the whole nation into a very serious financial crisis, to which up to today we are yet to get out of it. So when you look at things like this, then setting up an investigator to look into the activities of the CBN is long overdue, because here we'll be able to now see where have they gone wrong. You understand? It's the aim is not. It shouldn't be. Let me put it that way. Right. The aim shouldn't be to victimize, but it should be to right the wrongs. You understand? And see, why are they doing this? When they become this, if you want to be innovative, there are other ways you can go about it. And then the law is, like I always say, I believe that the law is the foundation for anything. The moment you mix up and throw away the law, then there will be a lot of crisis. So for me, I think it's long overdue, and it's something that should be commendable.
All right. Now, talking about righting the wrongs, looking into government organizations and seeing where there are lapses and where there are issues, some critics have also said that the president should not only probe CBN, that other government institutions like INEC, the NNPCL, are also to be looked into. Their activities, what they have done so far, what they need to do better, if there's corruption, if there are issues in between. These other organizations should also be looked into. Do you also share this opinion?
Yes, I share it to some extent. You understand? For example, you mentioned the issue of the NNPCL.
Yes.
For me, I find it difficult to really understand where the NNPCL now fit in. You are a limited liability company, a competitor, and at the same time you are a regulator. So how will it work? You understand? So there is need to investigate and see when their regulatory status stopped. You understand? And there is need to have another regulatory status, another regulatory body entirely. Because the moment the NPC become a limited liability company, they are now importing and doing everything. You understand? Now, it means that anything they are doing now, if they decide to now say they are fixing price, they are doing this, then it means the other companies that when the issue of subsidy arose, there is no government that has come out to tell Nigerians at every point in time that as at this date, these are the subsidies we are having, the subsidy for petrol. No government. The only thing we hear is that we have spent so much amount of money for subsidy. How much per liter are you spending? How much are you subsidizing? We don't know. So if the MP is still the one fixing price, then tell me, where is the subsidy? What's happening then? How do you arrive at the price? You understand? We are producing oil. We have the crude oil. If we are producing crude oil, then why must the international price be the gauge? When you say dollar rise, then our price will also rise. When we are the one producing, they will buy from us and go and do. We are supposed to do our own, so our cost should be minimal. Then the nation should be able to enjoy what is coming out of that. I don't know how NNPC will now be able to say they are monitoring the production of oil when they themselves now is a company. So there is need for a regulatory body. For answering your question, I think there is need to look into the activities of virtually all our agencies and see where they have gone wrong, where there is need to augment, where there is need to correct, where there is need to amend the law and make it much more better. You know, all these things are very, very important, and that's the only thing that can put the country on a because virtually everything has gone away.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Bashir. We need to go on a short break. When we return, we'll be taking your reactions to this first story. We still have a lot more to talk about this morning. Keep your messages coming in via SMS or WhatsApp 091 3655 6864. We're also live on Facebook at Diamond 87 FM and YouTube, Diamond FM Lorry. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Are you looking to introduce your business to the world or maintain an existing brand image? Well, let's help you. Advertise with us at Diamond 887 FM in Lorry. We provide a wide range of services to help showcase your business. For inquiries and advert bookings, visit our marketing office at Plot 2, New Uni Road, Irewolede, Ilorin, or call 091 2929 4332 or 081 2828 6078. Diamond 887 FM, your shining supreme station.
So when you're done with cold and cough, so class, using the example cited, we have a triangle with 3 sides: opposite, adjacent, and sorry, excuse me. And
Auntie, you have to visit the pharmacy and take Konos. My mommy takes it when she has cold and cough and gets relief.
Konos?
Konos is a remedy for the relief of cold and cough in 15 minutes.
I feel relief now.
Konos is manufactured by Dexter Medical and distributed by Glorious Dexter Mendia Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor. Konos, breathe easy.
Welcome back from that short time out. You're still tuned in and listening to the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. You can join in the conversation via Facebook. We're live on Facebook at Diamond 87 FM. Drop your comments via that platform, or YouTube, Diamond FM Ilorin. And then you can also send in your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp 091 3655 6864 091 3655 6864, and call us on 091 3655 6952 or 08000 887 887. The president has appointed a special investigator to probe the activities of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Let's take your reactions on this. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm a believe I'm speaking from Oka.
All right, good to have you on the program, sir. Go ahead.
Like I guess this thing is overdue. But can we get any results? That is million naira question. The reason why it is delayed today is that we may not get results, or especially on financial matters. The managing director of Nigeria Printing and Minting that industry is the younger brother of Aisha Buhari. So what is happening? Not that the government doesn't know that all these things they are charging maybe for don't run. It's one issue. The issue is that how can they tell me really without people with the capacity, the people who have the power, without them being involved? That's the question. So, well, I'm a Nigerian, I'm optimistic, but I doubt if anything will come out of it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bamidele. 09136556952. But you mentioned something. Is it possible for a cabal to be bigger than the government, or to be bigger than the people of Nigeria? Like we always say, this democracy is the government of the people. We are the people.
Hello.
Let's take this reaction. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, do call us back. That line is breaking. Kindly call us back. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Mr. Davis calling from Chow.
All right, Mr. Davis, go ahead, sir.
Yes, kudos to your guest in the house.
Thank you.
He has said a lot of things. As Mr. Bamdele has just said, the probe of a central bank is long overdue. But what I want everybody to know is that if the president had the political will to deal with this issue, we are going to get results. Because the money they spend in printing the outdated, what they call new Naira note, to be proved, we should know how much they spending on it. Then how much do they produce with that money? So Nigeria should know the truth about all these things. The issue of cabal or no cabal, when the president has this political will to make things work well in Nigeria, there's no way we will not succeed. Probably that I'm not friend.
All right, God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
You see, for me, Nigerians are the one who normally creates a lot of, they create so many things. You see, they use their mouths to say that government will not do this. These are the people who are strong. These are these are that. You understand? And most often, every Nigerian says so many things without even knowledge about what they are talking about. The president has executive power. Yeah. And for once, we have a president in this country who is able to come out openly and say that I begged for this job. And I have no excuse to disappoint you. I always, you see, that word is so important to me. And is one of the, for me, is the criteria upon which I will talk about Tinubu anytime he does something. You understand? If you are telling us, you have made us realize that you have no excuse to disappoint us. Then if you disappoint us, we have to fight you back and let you know that you are disappointing us. You understand my point? For me, you see, the step he has taken on this CBN by appointing somebody, people should realize one thing. Sometimes it's not about probing.
All right.
It's about finding out facts. And then you now look at, how do we move forward? How do we face the challenges that this thing has created?
Okay.
And you see, the moment we start looking at things from that angle, it will solve a lot of problems. It's not about being selfish or being sentimental. You want to find solution for the interest of the nation, not about individual.
All right, let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, do call us back. 09136556952 8000887 That is the number to call. Sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp. 09136556864. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Mr. Isa from Ilori.
All right, Mr. Isa, it's good to have you. Go ahead, please.
I just want to join my voice that the investigation of CBN is quite overdue. And I'm sure that from there, so many things, these cabals to be exposed. Even these people that have been swallowing our subsidy through that process, I think they will be exposed.
All right.
Because the problem we are facing now is not just calling for strike. Let's go to the root, the foundation. How does this problem start? I think that is what the president has just done now. And I'm sure that the investigation, it did not go to the EFCC, it did not go to the DSS. He appoints somebody, a pattern clause that he can get something from. And that's why I believe that the president is going to succeed. Even these people that are eating our subsidy, there is no one that the central bank cannot link with them. I'm sure everything will be exposed. Because people are saying the government should come out with the name of those who are eating our subsidy. How would they know if this probe is not on? And I'm sure that after this probe, a lot of things will be exposed. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for that reaction. We still have lots of reactions coming in, but let's quickly move on to the second topic for the day. You can still send in your reactions to the first story via SMS or WhatsApp 091-3655-6864, and we'll get back to them in a bit. The leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, through his lawyers, announced an end to the sit-at-home order in the southeast. Youth in Enugu State took to the streets to lend their voice, asking for the end of the sit-at-home, and they also called for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. What do you make of this whole Nnamdi Kanu scenario episode?
I think for the first time, the southeast are coming out to realize how to go about some of these issues. You see, what they have done is one of the most patriotic steps that I can say that they have taken so far. You see, you cannot say you are fighting for somebody at the same time making it difficult for those people. You want Kanu to be released, and you are making your own people to suffer. It doesn't make sense. It looks like, are we thinking? You get my point. So what they have done is the best. In any political setup, in anywhere in the world, force, the era of using force has gone. Is now the era of diplomacy and innovation. The era of saying we cannot agree has gone. The era now is being diplomatic and innovative. Let the other man seize and realize that if he goes on with this is likely to be the result. And if this result comes, it's going to affect you. So these are the way you to look at issues. But when you start looking at it from another perspective and saying we must use force, we must kill this, who are the people being killed? Government, how many government officials have been killed in North? Very few. Majority of people who are killed are Northeasterners. The economic life of the people you are destroying are the Northeasterner economic life. So I think they need to be commended by coming out this way. And I believe that with the way they are coming out, government is likely to start listening to them. Because the other time when the governor says that whoever refused to go to the shop, they are going to. I'm just thinking that, are we really looking at things the way we're supposed to look at it? Some people say don't open, and you are not bothering to look for those who gave the order and say they have done a wrong thing. You are now blaming the people who do not have any power.
Who are afraid.
Who are afraid out of fear. You are not saying if they don't go, you want them to go and be killed? Instead of now looking for who are those people making the order and get them arrested, get them get them into the government whatever. You understand? You are now putting the blame back on the same set of people. I don't know. So I think the IPOB, for the first time, it shows that they are now telling us they're actually fighting for the Easterner for the first time.
All right. And now, still talking about this whole Kanu thing. Kanu allegedly made inciting comments which resulted in violence.
Yeah.
Now, some have argued that he should not be released. Others said they say he should be sentenced to prison. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I wouldn't say much about that. My own view is about it is that the issue is both political and legal. And when it comes to issue like that, you see, government has more information than those of us who are outside.
Wow.
So in the way it is, the political and the legal issue need to be looked at a level, you understand, in such a way that things can come out. You see, Kanu is a very youthful person. He's a young man. And sometimes you see, useful exuberance throw a lot of things up to people. But later in life, as you are growing, as you are now having experience, your sense will start coming out, and then you'll be able to now look at things much more. So for me, the way the IPOP has come out, the way he himself is now talking, it shows that is now growing up beyond the youthful exuberance. Because all those things he said, to me, they are just youthful exuberance. They have no basis. It's just like somebody who wants to be hard and want people to feel that he's hot, he's hard, he's this. And things like that don't solve situation. And that's why up to now you see that the northeastern political issues is yet to be resolved. And if they continue the way they were doing it before, it may not be resolved. But the way they start now, if they start like that and a little bit more diplomatic and innovative, you will see that political issues in the east, their political issues will be gladly resolved and everything will go on. The Yorubas, the north southwest, had similar experience, but they had to find a way. And that was why Tinubu, the president now is able to be a beneficiary. You see that it's the north that fought more or less for the presidency of Tinubu.
All right.
You get my point, because they can now see that he has created a bridge. He has been able to create a bridge that bond the two together, and that connected the two together. Let the East also bring that bridge so that it can connect everybody. So if the East is connected by a bridge to the West is connected to by a bridge to the North, and all like that, you see that at the end of the day, we'll not be thinking of east, west, and north. We'll be thinking of Nigerians. So we'll now start looking, and there will be more development, because at that time it's not about whether it's for the east or the north. It's for Nigeria. We have Hausa in the east, we have Yoruba in the east, we have Igbos in the west, we have Hausa in the west, we have Yoruba in the north, we have Igbo. So whatever is put there, it's for everybody.
All right, Mr. Oladipo, let's quickly go on a short timeout. But when we come back, seeing this sit-at-home order, seeing the fact that it has become unpopular even among the people right now, what should the response of the southeastern governors be to put an end to this order? But we'll talk about that when we come back from this short timeout. Do stay with us. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Kò sí mọ́ ó ti lọ wá bí wọ́n sí kára ó lè pé bàmù rẹ̀ àtòrà dáadáa.
Kókó lára ọ̀tá le. Gbéra ńlẹ̀ kó dìde. Kára ó lè pè ń bà. Àtòrà wọ̀, àtòrà pẹ̀sẹ̀, àtòrà dáadáa. Kegun ó tò kegun ó nà. Kára ó yá mọ́. Tẹ̀ bá ti fi kára ó lè pè ń bà rà. Lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọnú igun. Tó sì ń ṣe àtúntò rẹ̀. Òṣùbù yẹ̀kẹ́ fa párọ̀ tàbí fi ẹsẹ̀ dá. Fi kára ó lè pè ń bà wọ̀. Káì! Ara rẹ̀ ó lè padà yakinlala. Action! Action! Ó jẹ́ ara ríro tàbí ẹ̀yìn dídùn. Kára ó lè pè ń bà lọ́kọ̀ gbogbo wọn. Agbára pọ̀. Kára ó lè pè ń bà. Tuyi Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. Àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká po oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. Kára ó lè pè ń bà. Ẹ̀rọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pín ìrèpàtú òpèrè ta pàtà pọ́npọ́n. Kára ó lè pè ń bà. Ó kì í síbẹ̀.
Kára ó lè pè ń bà mú rẹ̀ àtòrà dáadáa.
Ọṣẹ kan ṣoṣo tó ń jẹ́ káṣọ máa dán, kò kí n pẹ́ mi láti fọṣọ dán. Ọṣẹ gidi mi ò lè lóhun tí ò dáa. Lo Viva kékeré fi fáṣọ púpọ̀. Lo Viva má sọ kọ́kọ́ àtọwọ́ rẹ̀ nù. Lo Viva.
Ọṣẹ àbùfọ̀ Viva Plus ọ̀gá ńlá ọṣẹ àbùfọ̀ látọwọ́ Aspira.
Seasons come and go. In this season, safety is important and caution is vital. Do you know that over 600 persons have lost their lives to flooding in Nigeria and over 2.5 million persons have been affected by flooding? Do you know that over 200,000 houses have been partially or fully damaged due to floodings in Nigeria? Flooding can be caused by humans or as a result of natural disaster. This is therefore a public service notification of the flood warning to ensure safety of lives and properties in Kwara State. The general public is advised to desist from building along river channels or flood-prone zones. Say no to boat overloading. While on boat, put on your life jackets. Be safety conscious. Your life is precious. This message is from the Kwara State Emergency Management Agency.
Diamond FM, your one-stop dial.
Welcome back from that short time out. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. Remember, we're live on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM and YouTube Diamond FM Ilorin. I still have with me Mr. Bashir Oladipo on the program, and the second story we're taking a look at this morning is on the Nnamdi Kanu and IPOP story. Now, this sit-at-home order, like I said earlier before we went on the break, has become quite unpopular right now in the East, especially after videos appeared on social media showing the destruction of people's livelihoods by the enforcers of the order. So what is expected of the southeastern governors right now to put an end to this order?
See, for me, the chief security officer of any state is the governor. He has full responsibility to ensure that there is peace in the state. And this is enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right.
And they have that full power. But most often, most of our governors shy away from that responsibility and try to put the blame on the federal government. You understand? And because they know that our people believe that the federal government is this, is that, you understand? A lot of Nigerians also were carried away by the governor's statement. You get my point? So for me, I think the comment by the IPOP saying that they are denouncing that seat or a seat at home is a very great relief to the Southeast, and it's going to make them to be more, proactive and be able more effective in ensuring that things are placed in good shape now. Because there is anybody that's now enforcing it. You cannot see that it's not about any organization. It's like he is doing this on his own. He has his own personal agenda. That is one. And there will also be need for them to also, now that the IPOP is now coming up to become more civil in their approach to issues now, I think they need to also be seen as partners in progress. Bring them in, talk to them. You understand? Now that they're becoming civil, and the moment you see them becoming violent again, then you can throw them off. Because we need civil pressure group within every system for the peace system to be at its toes. Otherwise, a lot of things, people will just feel that they have the power and they can do whatever they have. The governor is executive governor, just like the president is executive president. They have enormous power.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ladipo. Let's take the final reactions on this segment of the program before we wrap up this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma. Good morning, the moderator, sir.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm Adeleke. I can be calling from airport, Ilorin.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
Look, first and foremost, I want to talk about the NLC and the present broadcast in the evening.
All right. We did not actually touch that story. Kindly address the ones we have only talked about, sir.
Okay, now let me talk about the IPOP matter.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I only want to plead to the governors of southeast region of southeast zonal region of Nigeria that governors will be more active. It seems they are powerless in controlling these reactionary actions by IPOP. Everybody is sympathizing with them. So that's who does not sympathize, but their approach they are using to tackle the matter is as you want to strangulate or enforce federal government to take action, which may not work. Governors should be seen to see that they want peace in that region first before federal government will not, join them. Governors are not showing action. It is the tribal something group, what we call the group that are showing action. Governors are very, very passive. And to not help matter. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for your reaction. 09136556952. Let's take one more before we wrap up on the program this morning, on this segment of the program this morning. Hello, good morning.
This is Mr. Davis calling back from
All right,
South.
Mr. Davis, in a few seconds, sir.
You see, on the issue of IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu and NEPA, you see, the Southeasterner, they should try to emulate something from the South. You see, our patriarch or our ancestors right from the creation, they have let us understand that too long does not make a right. Now, if IPOB is claiming that Nnamdi Kanu should be released, then what happens to those who have lost their life during the activity of the IPOB? Are they going to bring back the life of those people? Nnamdi Kanu should be made to face the risk of what he has done. That is what it is. I know that it is about a lesson.
Is that not Children's making the same right?
No. It's not about children does not make a right. It's what the law says.
All right. Thank you so much.
What the law says,
yes,
has to be applied.
All right. Thank you you so much, Mr. Davis. We need to go now. This one says, good morning, presenter and the analyst. First, I'm very optimistic. So for that, let me commend the investigation announcement. But I think we can all say it is not about investigation alone. It is about the political will to prosecute all those involved. Because if I'm sure when the investigation is concluded, many people will be involved. And as for Nnamdi Kanu, I think the Southeast are now trying to realize the truth. They should stop the sit-at-home and look for another way to resolve their issues. Let's commend the government of Enugu for initiating the process. Abdul Karim from Ilorin. We need to go, Mr. Bashir. Let's take your final thoughts in 1 minute.
It's always the same. Obey the law. Let's obey the law and let us see ourselves as Nigerians.
Okay.
The moment we see ourselves as Nigerians, the moment anybody, whether NLC, whether MBA, whether Diamond FM, anything you want to do it in the interest of the people, Nigeria.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
My pleasure.
Mr. Oladipo. Thank you for coming this morning. And the Diamond Breakfast Show is still on. We'll be inviting our other guests for the next segment in a little bit. Just stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
What's up? This is Cassie. Hi, this is Nelly Furtado, and you're listening to my favorite
Shining Supreme.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Diamond FM.
Hey, it's Iggy Azalea. I'm Tolo.
Where's Khalifa, man?
Cool.
Let's go.
Diamond FM, your one-step dial.
Welcome back from that short time out. You're still tuned in and listening to the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. And like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, we'll be having two segments on the program this morning. And the second segment, we're talking about the World Day Against Trafficking in Humans. And to do that with me, I have Miss Chidima Madike. She is the Director of Socials. A very good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, and I also have Miss Oluwashemiloriwolabi, Deputy Director of Socials. A very good morning.
Good morning.
They are both from Equity Chambers, Faculty of Law, University of Ilorin, and we're here to talk about trafficking, human trafficking. The first thing is, I feel like we need to give a background as to what human trafficking is. Not everybody knows what human trafficking is. So, Ms. Chidima, what exactly is human trafficking?
Well, human trafficking is the exploitation of persons who are very vulnerable to like economic problems such as poverty, lack of quality education, lack of information as to how this takes place in society. So basically, people who are probably trying to harvest organs or prostitution or just basically take advantage of the poor people in our society. They approach these families and they come to them with fake opportunities for businesses. they try to let them know, let them feel safe around them. Meanwhile, the whole time they're just trying to take advantage of them, and they're trying to exploit them for things that are not supposed to be in our society.
All right. From your explanation, now, would you say those who take little children for and make them house helps in people's homes, is that a form of human trafficking too?
Based on the reports done by the United Nations survey on human trafficking and what we know so far, yes, it is. Because we already have a Child Rights Act in the country, and naturally, by default, there are certain things that shouldn't be done to kids. Forcing a child into labor, making a child a house help, be it a houseboy, a megad or anything, it's wrong, because this is their foundational stage. They're supposed to be in school, they're supposed to be learning, they're supposed to be growing, they're supposed to be building their foundations as individuals in our society. So if they start off on this pedestal of being forced against their will, they might grow up into criminals or end up doing things that are just terribly or just wrong generally in the society.
All right. So is it possible for somebody to be engaged in human trafficking and not know that they're actually into human trafficking?
Yes,
I'm talking about those who do it now.
Yes, it's very possible. Some people might, for instance, we have illiterates in our society, unfortunately, and they might not even know that their children are being trafficked, because these people come to them with the whole idea of, oh, I want to give your child a better life, I want to sponsor your child's education, I want to take your child to another country so he can become a better person for the family and things like that. So by default, parents want the best for their children, but because they don't know these things, they actually think this person is coming to help them, and the whole time is wrong. They take these children out of the country, they abuse them, they use them for things that are just beyond what my mouth can speak, honestly, and it's really sad. So we're trying to push this movement in the sense that even if they didn't go to school, we want the parents to be aware of this. They should know the patterns, they should know the tricks, they should know these people, how they come. So as soon as they're coming, they can alert the necessary agencies and just stop this in general.
All right, Miss Semilore, let's talk about the victims of human trafficking. Who are those who are regarded as victims of human trafficking? Because it's not just children now.
Yeah. So basically, victims of human trafficking, they are of different ages. They can be of both female and the male gender, you know. And the way I like to put it, I put it in like different categories. Yeah, we understand that we have girls, boys, men and women that are being trafficked, but let's really get down into details. People that are illiterate, that are very, very susceptible to being trafficked. Desperate people, in the sense that most of these human trafficking schemes, they go through things like scholarships, travel to America kind of schemes, all these kind of things. And as I said, desperate people, illiterate people that are orphans, people that don't really have families. As I said, children too, young children. These human traffickers do this thing that they'll go to rural environments, I mean villages, and they will get children, they will get teenagers, and you know, their parents are just in the village, they're just trying to survive. So taking the child from them is like taking off a burden from them. So most of them will be actually willing to let their child go, in sense that, and as a parent, they would want their child to have a better life. So these are victims. But when we look at Africa and Nigeria specifically, we see that it's mostly children and women that are being trafficked, and children, girls, women that are being trafficked, and that being because of our ban against the LGBTQ movement. But generally, it's both the male and female gender. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And now the World Day Against Human Trafficking is celebrated every 30th of July. Now, this year's celebration happened yesterday, but we're talking about it today. This is part of the activities to celebrate the day. What exactly is the World Day about, and what do you do on this day, on days like this, where you're supposed to, talk about Day Against Human Trafficking? Do you go talk to people? Do you reach out to people? What exactly do you do?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Prior to this engagement that we're having here today, as a body, Equity Chambers in University of Ilorin, Faculty of Law, we did a complete, we have a program We do this every year, but unfortunately due to lockdown and last strike, we couldn't do it last year and the year before that. But in 2019, 2019 and 2021, yeah, we had the same movement. But this year we did it differently in the sense that on Thursday, we had a webinar along with the Youth Association Against Human Trafficking in Abuja. We had a webinar. We had students join the webinar via Google Meet, and we talked about the dangers, we talked about the red flags, we talked about the signs, we talked about the patterns. And we also had the native chairman on the Zoom meeting with us. He was able to acknowledge the fact that, okay, yes, we're doing something right, we're pushing for the right movement. And aside that, we also did, in case for those who couldn't join the webinar, we did a movie night inside the school premises at the Faculty of Law. So we did the movie. My friend here and my and my deputy was in charge of the movie night. We had a movie night. That was the theme of the movie was basically human rights and how it's contradicted and damaged due to human trafficking. So the movie showed us how it takes place, how they deceive people, the patterns, and how it happened. A lot of people turned up for that too, and due to that too, we had a lot of turn up for our movement, which was on Saturday. So leading up to that, we all basically, the movement was that we went to Tipa Garage at Tanke. We spoke to the market women, we spoke to the bike men, we spoke to the those who drive the keke napeps and things like that. So the whole thing was to build that spirit of a movement. We wanted to build that spirit of an awareness where prior to that Sunday, we want, even at their homes, in their discussions with one another, in their interactions with their friends, you need to tell people about these things, because we might assume they know, but most times they actually don't. They might know, okay, it's happening, but they might not know the patterns, they might not know the structure, they might not know the disadvantages, they might not know the long run effect on our country as a whole. So we feel like, in as much as, yes, we might not have as much power as we need to push it, we still need to do the little we can as students. We tell our friends, we post it online, we go on Google Meets, we have conferences, we need to speak about it, because the more you know, the more you are able to tell people. The more you tell people, the more it spreads.
All right, now talking about awareness, a lot of people are not aware about these forms, the most common forms of human trafficking. What are the most common forms? So that when they see it, they can immediately cite it and know that, oh, this is about to happen or this is happening.
Okay. So the first one and the most common until this very day, which is sad, is going to tell poor parents that they are going to take their kids or sponsor their kids in school. They are going to give their kids a better life. Because most of this, if you check the statistics, most of them are people who are living from hand to mouth. They don't really have a steady source of income. They can't really plan ahead how they want their children's life and education to be. So when they come through to them with this idea of, oh, I'm going to sponsor your child, you can do other things for your other children, I'm going to leave this burden off you, they feel like maybe God came, or maybe some message, or their prayers have been answered. And because they don't know, they don't do the due research of, oh, can you show me your certificate? Where's your headquarters? Where are you taking my child to? Who can I call to speak to my child? They don't do all these basics.
All right, hold on. Let me quickly ask.
Yes.
Now, are you saying that by strangers or from family members? Does it also happen that family members also do this? Or people that they know, people in the community, people they are well acquainted with? Because sometimes some of these gestures might also be genuine. So how do you actually spot the ones that could lead to human trafficking?
First of all, yes, it could be done by family members who don't have your best interest at heart, and that's sad. And also, it could be done by strangers who probably come with this whole idea of, oh, we're a movement or association, like an NGO, a fake NGO. I won't say an NGO, a fake NGO. But how to spot this basically is, if you ask the right question, it still boils down back to awareness. If these parents know that, oh, they're supposed to show you a certificate or at least give you a number to contact, if they start to ask these questions and you don't have answers to it, it's easy for them to get uncomfortable and disappear.
All right. Now, when you spot these things, because we really need to go now, we need to talk about agencies that are involved in this. Agencies that's maybe security agencies or legal agencies where people can report activities like this to Shemilori.
Basically, in Nigeria, we have the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, and that is what we call the NAPTIP. And it was established in the year 2003.
All right.
Basically, they have several functions. One of which is to investigate human trafficking cases.
Okay.
There is an act which
and do they also prosecute as well?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes,
Now, are they located in every part of the country? Because we really need to go now, but we need to, just put an end to this.
Well, they are not located in every part of the country. They have zonal commands, but here in Kwara State we do have a NAPTIP office here.
All right.
Yes, we do, and they have contacts in which people can reach them by both their phone numbers and emails, and I have them with me right now.
All right, please give them out quickly so we can go.
Okay, so their number 070 300 00203, and I'm going to take that again, 070 30 00203, or they can just dial 627.
All right, I think that's faster. All right, Ms. Chidima, before we go, in just a few seconds, what is your advice to people who find themselves in situations like this and would like to get help?
To anyone hearing this who is a victim, or you know someone who, please speak up. Have the courage to speak up. Yes, it's hard, I won't lie. It might be hard trying to talk about your experiences, but the truth will set you free.
All right, thank you so much. My guests on the program have been Ms. Chidima Madike, the Director of Socials for Equity Chambers, Faculty of Law, University of Ilorin. And also I have with me Ms. Oluwashemilore Owolabi, the Deputy Director of Socials. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming.
Thank you
and
so
we wish you the
much.
best in your fight against human trafficking.
Thank you.
All right, this is where we call it a wrap on the Diamond Breakfast Show. Have a lovely rest of the day. Say no to human trafficking in all forms. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman. We go straight to the News and Current Affairs Department for the news commentary for today. Have a lovely rest of the day.
This week's commentary is on the effect of brain drain to Nigeria health